What's up, guys? Thought I'd do a little recap of this past weekend. We're finally able to do some drifting at Shannonville Motorsports Park with Top Drift Boonies Bash 2020. Definitely feels a little weird that the start of July is our first drift event of the year, but with all this COVID stuff, it's kind of really screwed up the whole drift schedule as everything else. This was the first event I was running my new angle kit with, and definitely didn't go as planned. Found some weak spots. Heim joint broke, bent the control arm. You can kind of see here the air pockets in the Heim joint. So this is definitely a lower quality piece here. I ended up ordering some chromoly ones in, cut them apart just to see, and just by the looks of it, you can tell that this is definitely a higher quality piece. So going to be upgrading to those. I got some thicker tubing coming in, and I'm going to add some better bracing on the control arms. I'll beef it all up, and hopefully we won't have this problem again. On this side, you can see where there's some cracked paint in there by the tension arm pickup, and this Heim joint here is pretty bent, so this side was definitely going to do the same thing. I mean, this is just the stuff you come across when you're building your own stuff, right? You're going to find your weak spots, and all you can do is really improve on them, and hopefully you'll end up fixing them. So the control arm broke. That pushed the wheel right into the wheel well, and it actually snapped the top of the shock off, which really sucks because I was running some new silver suspension that I hadn't been able to run before, so I was really looking forward to get those broken in and adjust them all and stuff like that. But it is what it is. Definitely nothing to do with the suspension themselves. I mean, obviously it was my fault. Something's got to break, right? But I was able to run the silver suspension in the rear. I got a lower spring rate than last year, and even with like a 215 tire, I could really feel it bite in the corner. So I'm really happy with those. They feel really great. I purchased them through iRace Autosports. He's actually the authorized dealer in Canada for silver suspension. So if you haven't heard of him, go check him out. Great prices. And I was able to mess around with some of the rear alignment stuff, as you can see here. Just kind of see what happens with camber gain under throttle. Obviously, this is no good, but you can kind of look at your tire after a run and kind of see what's happening with the car and then adjust from there. I mean, that's how you learn, right? Just figuring out what's all going on. Normally, I don't run a small tire like this in the front. This is just because this is all I had to run that would work with the caster that this current kit works with. It's just a set of OEM knuckles that are chopped, Ultima inners, extended lower control arms, and some curved caster arms that I used. So my other kit, I can run a 245 on the front with no clearance issues, and this one, obviously, I wouldn't be able to run that big size of a tire. So I had to work with what I had. Changing that whole front end over definitely sucked, especially since it was pouring rain. But we made it through, had a couple good buddies helping me out, and I was able to thrash all day Sunday. This was also the first event with my new Comp Cam Stage 2 HRT camshaft, and this thing feels really great. Definitely more power all over the place, great responsiveness, and it idles really nice in the pits too. So it really transformed the whole car. I'm really happy about it. So yeah, that's about it. Here's some flares I bought. Running that bigger angle kit definitely puts the wheels out a little farther, so that's why there's no fenders on the car right now. I had to wait for these flares to come in, and I'll pop rivet those on. Do a couple more adjustments. once I get the parts for this stuff, I'll fix this all up. It'll actually be, upon a positive note, I'll be able to try out my new Everlast 250EX TIG welder. I haven't had like a big project to do with it yet, so these control arms will give me a good excuse to get this thing worked in. I've done a couple things with it, and already I can really see a difference in quality of work from what I was using, so really excited to use that. I also bought a plasma cutter from them. I haven't even turned this on yet. Been waiting for a reason to, actually. So I have another piece of equipment coming that this plasma cutter will hook into. I'm really looking forward to that. I'll actually be able to start building some really cool stuff here. And yeah, that's about it. So hopefully next round I'll be able to get all this stuff fixed up, and I'll be back out there.